All right, welcome everyone. If you would rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Which stands one nation.
All right, welcome, Jim. We're glad everyone's here. Can we get roll call, please?
Mr. Boring,
Here.
Mr. Blanton,
Here.
Mr. Robinson.
Here. And can I get the acceptance of the minutes of January 17, 2024, the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees? All right, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of that January 17, 2024.
I'll second.
Mr. Boring,
Yes.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Also accepted of the invoices from, is that invoices from January 17th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, the acceptance of the invoices for January 17th, 2024.
Up through that?
Yes, through today's date.
Through today's day?
Yeah.
Okay. So we just
All right.
said in the last month?
Yeah.
So from
All right.
January
They're listed in your,
I'll make a motion that we accept all invoices to be paid or have been paid. To be paid from the last month as presented by the administrator of the fiscal office. I'll second.
all right, Mr. Boring, Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go to the introduction and pinning ceremony for the fire department for Mr. Scott Dunnigan and Mr. Dana Taylor. I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong.
We all do.
Everybody, I'm Rob Speed. I am the Assistant Chief Fire Department. And the first one, I thank the trustees for allowing us to do this, to recognize these two this evening, and also to the residents who gave us a little bit of your time tonight. I just want to go a little bit over some landmarks, what we do as firefighters. And firefighters have many landmarks that they hit on their way to become an officer for promotion. And these landmarks are significant in the event of life of a firefighter, kind of like a milestone. Some of these milestones would be when they first get the EMT and when they first get their fire departments. And when they end their first job at the firehouse. Those are all milestones that, hey, I got my first job here, I got cars, put me to work. But with that first job comes what feels like endless hours, classes and training, missed family events, with the chance to show and prove themselves so they can get promotion and be full-time. And that's another milestone. We're trying to get past that. Once they become full-time, comes more classes, more hours, more family events missed, as they look to further their education and knowledge to be able to get to promotion to be an officer. There's a lot that goes into these guys getting to this point right now. And Scott and Dan, I want to congratulate you on this milestone of kind of getting to this point tonight. And part of the milestones is the swearing in and opinion ceremony. And the pinning of the badge this evening represents these two going from firefighter to lieutenant tonight. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Captain Travis King.
Welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. Pretty big event for us to be able to pin and recognize our new lieutenants within the ranks with us. First person I'd like to introduce is Scott Dunnigan. Scott. So before we begin, there's many things about Scott, but if you ever kind of wondered, or you're driving around, you see this red dog ran with these Minnesota license plates, and you think to yourself, now who in the world would have Minnesota license plates living in Ohio? Well, look no further. He's right there. Just one of many stories. If you want to hear the rest, you have to come back out when he retires. And, I got a whole plethora of them. So going back, way back, 1968, Scott was born, South Carolina. His father was stationed in the Air Force in Charleston at the time. So he came back to Cincinnati in 1969, grew up in Loveland, went to the Norwood, or he graduated from Norwood High School in 1986. He got his associate's degree in engineering from Southern Ohio College in 1989. His fire service career began in 1995, working part-time for Coleraine Township Fire. He then enlisted in the U.S. Navy Reserves as a corpsman, serving our country from 1996 till 2004, obtaining the rank of petty officer, 3rd class. While in the Navy, he performed medical exams for troops who were going overseas. Started working for Miami Township in January of 1996 as one of our first group of full-time paid firefighters. They're 24-hour employees. He obtained his paramedic in 1998. He's been a fire inspector since '06. Today, Scott runs our code enforcement and fire life safety division program. So if you're out illegally burning material or something like that, watch out, they'll be coming after you. Scott's married to his wife Megan, sitting right there in the front. Met her in 2014. Combined, they got a total of 8 kids, almost a football team. He resides now, still on the west side in Green Township. In his free time, Scott enjoys traveling, loves going out west. He loves the beaches, the desert, and the mountains. He's still stuck in the 1970s, though. He probably watched every episode of Rockford Files. And he has a TV in his office that's got one of the old dial knobs on it. I don't even think you can plug into the things. But I've had the pleasure of working with Scott for many years now. We started out together on year 2, way back when we were just firefighters. So he's a great asset to the department. Will be a great lieutenant, and wishing nothing but the best. Penning Scott, his father, John, will be coming up. Captain Joe Yanko.
Good evening. For any of you who do not know me, I'm Captain Joe Yanko. I have the pleasure of introducing Dan Hyde this evening. My intro on Dan has not been here as long as Brad, so I apologize for that. Dan started his fire career here at Miami Township in year 2001 as a part-time firefighter. In 2009, Dan became full-time status. In his journey in his fire career, he's also worked at Coleraine Township from 2005 to 2009. He also worked for the city of Cheviot, 2006 to 2021. A little longer, should have been. Dan is married to Allison in the back. They have 3 sons together. Blake, who's 15, Jack's 13, and Cole, who's 9. Dan grew up in Green Township and currently still lives in Green Township. The running joke is Dan is 1 mile from Miami Township. He lives right on the border. In Dan's free time, he enjoys coaching and watching his sons play sports, going on vacations, and old Volkswagens. That's a fun thing. And Penny, you is your son, correct?
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Dan Hyde, I, Scott Tony,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States. Solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States.
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
Constitution of the State of- And the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
I will faithfully perform the duties. I will faithfully perform the duties.
of lieutenant for Miami Township Fire Department
Lieutenant for Miami Township, Miami Township Fire Department. As Lieutenant for Miami Township Fire Department.
in and for the county of Hamilton and the state of Ohio,
And for Hamilton County in the state of Ohio. And for the county of Hamilton in the state of Ohio.
according to the best of my ability
According to the best of my ability. According to the best of my ability.
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
According to the laws. And according to the laws now in effect.
and hereafter enacted, so help me God. Hereafter enacted
And herein after. I'll help you God. Hereafter enacted. So help me God.
With the trustees and the board of It's. Wait. Okay, can you step this way, please? That is Fran. And if the captains will join.
Want to just let the captains?
Yeah.
It's a little too large for all of us.
More the merrier. Now take everybody 2 steps this way. Great. Then we'll do family, just be the boys going up again, and then got it for the family. I was gonna do them separate, if I can ask one family to come and then, maybe we could do a big party. If you guys will take a couple steps to front. Ready, one more this way. That is on you, everybody smile at me. And then the next. Next. I'm gonna try to center you guys all in front of that. Township.
Guys want to say?
2 more. Yeah, perfect. All right, everybody smile beautifully.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go.
And I will say one thing for all you movie buffs out there. We now have a Captain Jack and Lieutenant Dan on the roster. So Mr. Brett, your work's cut out for you for your next hire here. You don't know what you can pull out, but it's good.
I got friends in Hollywood.
Oh.
You're gonna ruin It'll be better.
I had the pleasure of sitting down with some of the interviews, and I would just like to commend both of them. Both of them expressed great attitude, lead by example. I think that they're ones that will roll up their sleeve and not, not just tell people what to do, but we'll show them this is, this is what it's selling, and I'm very excited about this too. Getting that.
Good job. I'd like to thank everybody again, the trustees and residents, for giving us a little bit of your time tonight, to with you. And that's the end of the any conversation. If you're going to dinner, we'll get your dates.
Good evening, Lieutenant McCower of the Sheriff's Department. And now the report on the report for January 2024. In January, we had 293 runs. 48 of those were dispatch details. 45 of those were non-billable or self-initiated runs. As far as service exchange, 80 times Miami Township cars were requested outside of Miami Township. 65 times during that they actually went. 15 times they were disregarded en route. 84 times last month county cars were requested for assistance inside of Miami Township. 39 actually arrived. 45 were disregarded en route. We had 5 criminal reports taken, 17 non-criminal reports taken, and 12 auto accidents taken at once as well. Anybody have any questions? You can answer. Yes, sir.
I brought with me a retired from the sheriff's.
I saw Mr. Records over there.
And, we're both residents of Yorkshire and Aston Woods. And as I was here a couple months ago, and it brought up in reference to patrolling the non-dedicated streets of Miami Township, for example, which is Yorkshire, Aston Woods, Bridgestone Sanctuary, which is St. Cloud Way. And I asked several people who live in both areas about, which I brought up 2 months ago, about patrolling with a county deputy. And I got law over at Bridgestone Sanctuary. Said, one guy said he's lived there 10 years and he's only seen one deputy come through there. And Ron and I both, where we live, I've been there a little over a year, Ron's been there over 10 years. They're not coming through.
Well, you two live in Aston.
Right.
So, and then once again, and I said this before, that could be a number of reasons why you don't end up seeing officers, right? There's work, whether you're inside and they're outside, whether you're in the back, whether you're sleeping. But, and I don't disvalue, say that you haven't seen officers there, but when you, reported that Aston Oaks needs extra patrol, I've had the request in there. But just for this occasion, I went in there multiple times, and I'm not talking just driving by. I drove all the way to the end. I would sit out at the top. The dog walkers wave too. So I've been in there. It's just sometimes you're just not happening to see us. And that's just speaking for myself. And I went multiple times. Just for this very occasion. So we are. So, and I'm not saying it to argue either. It's just that I can tell you we are in the neighborhoods. We are, Miami Township's a big area.
Oh, yeah.
But we are on the street, we're in the neighborhoods, we're out there. I
You're saying-
promise, I promise.
Yes.
So did you go and ask the folks, you talked about specifically asked, what about Bridgestone? Bridgestone, not specifically that one, that wasn't specifically said for something on that one.
Well, Bridgestone Sanctuary, back St. Cloud Way.
Right. That wasn't brought up last time, you said.
I know, I didn't bring it up.
Gallia, off of Pickway, and, what's the one off of,
Gallius.
Zion, Mitchell Park. So I can tell you those were the 3 that you brought up, so those were the 3 were brought up in that same. So that's the one so that I could say, in case it came up again, that there are people there, even if you don't see them, we definitely were in there. I can get the workshop or what's one off the St. Cloud, St. Cloud, Birds. What's the name of that again?
Which one?
Off of St. Cloud.
St. Cloud. well, St. Cloud Way goes all the way back through there. That's the non-dedicated.
But I can get that added on as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure, not a problem. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, Elton. Well, administrative report. Mr. Brett.
Good evening. I'm gonna try to keep my report brief. I want to hit on a couple of fire department items, especially to congratulate Lieutenant Dugan and Lieutenant Hyam on their promotions. Wanted you to know that I met with Alan Ewing, our legal counsel, about the full-time contract, and we went over a few things with that. We're going to be working on that. Mr. Bower will be involved in that, obviously. Fire chief interviews are scheduled for Saturday. We've got a commitment from everybody for their time, so, excuse me. We're moving forward with that process. We have a meeting scheduled with Lieutenant Lacey based on a previous issue with her from March 5th. And Trustee Borat and I will be sitting in on interviews for the full-time opening March 26th, next Monday. So we hope to have someone in to fill that vacancy. So on the
March 26th or February 26th?
February, I'm sorry. I'm trying to push things back. So on the bulk water fill station, Mr. Landon Morath spoke with the vendor at the Ohio Township Association Conference. He's going to be in town in the next week or so we can talk with him about the setup that he has. I owe Mayor Burkholz an apology from last month because I misspoke. I said that we hadn't heard from the village of Pleas about locating the fill station on their service department property where the old fill station was. And he was waiting on us to get some information from our legal counsel. So it wasn't that they were behind, we were behind in getting him information. So I want to apologize to Mayor Burkholz in the village. So I make a mistake. I own it. So I did talk with Mr. Burkholz. I talked with their administrator, Mike Rahal, and Rusty Alexander in the water department about tapping the main down there. We're working on that. So we're also still waiting on some additional information from our legal counsel. Trustee Plant and I will be having a conference call with him tomorrow morning to try to get this thing settled once and for all so we can get the information to the village please and get that done.
I want to make a comment on that.
Go right ahead.
We, Jim and I, and Mr. Burkholz, we're having a conversation with them tomorrow. We're going to have something in writing this week to you by next week, so we can move forward with this. Okay? So please prepare something in writing that, when I say something in writing, there's two things in writing. First one is a contract between Cleves and Miami Township. Second thing is that there were some concerns in our meetings where we allowed to limit the water usage to our Miami Township residents only. That answer is yes. And we're gonna have both of those in writing this week and hopefully move forward with this the following week. There's no reason to be held up. When Cleve signs, we'll sign it and we'll move forward with it. So that's where we're at on that.
Yes. So, the other thing that we've been working on, and it's taken a little bit of a backseat to the fire chief process, but it's something that's still important to our board of trustees. It's the Whispering Farms drilled shaft wall. I've got the request for proposals complete and ready to post. We're waiting on legal counsel to review the bid packet. And later on this evening, we're adding to our agenda a resolution authorizing me to post that as soon as we get the information back. We'll get that packet prepared. Since the meetings that I've met with Bear Becker about the water fill station in the Memorial Park for Pat and June. Attended the week drive combined meeting with North Bend. Trustee Bland and Borath both attended the Ohio Township Conference, as I did. Unfortunately, Mr. Robeson was, ill that week, and, I know he would have rather been there than be sick.
For sure.
So, met with Dr. Alt regarding, ongoing and upcoming projects, and, matter of fact, Trustee Robeson and I met with them last night to discuss a few things. We'll be continuing this discussion as we move forward. I attended the Great Parks Blueway Committee meeting. Trustee Robeson also attended that, and I believe Trustee Blanton, zoomed into that. Did you get to do that?
I did not, since you were going, so I did not, I wanted to, but since you were going, I figured you could update me.
So, was kind of interesting. They missed a couple things that they didn't know about our community. But, Village of Please, Village of North Bend were there, so, we were well represented for the area. Attended the Western Hamilton County Economic Council meeting, met with North Bend, Addiston, and Please, at the invitation of Mayor Samuelson, North Bend. Trustee Robeson also attended that. They had been working with Miami University on their park project, and Miami University was looking for another project to do this year for this semester. And, everybody kind of agreed that they would work on the corridor, the business corridor from North Bend to our park and, through the Village of Please, work on signage that will be consistent for posting along the road and in their park. And I think that's going to be a great asset to the community. And it's also, Miami University provides that service for them for free. So,
Use kind of their urban planning.
and, I attended the Center for Local Government Benefits analysis meeting because we're going to be looking at our health insurance and what our insurer can provide and also what they can provide, and be doing comparisons on that. So, the other thing, I didn't know if Trustee Robeson would like to bring this up, or I was just going to mention that, we're going to have the ambassadors meeting for the homeowners association. We'll be getting that announcement out probably Friday, but we're planning on that for March 6th at 6:00 p.m. That'll be following our meeting at 3 o'clock here. So that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
All right, any questions for Mr. Brad?
I have one. How many candidates are left on the list?
We have, we're interviewing 5 people.
All right. Do I have to do a record request for their names, or can I meet you again?
You can meet me after the meeting. I'll be glad to share them with you.
All right.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
The water fill station, are we planning on trying to use the existing location that water is coming out of?
We are.
Okay,
We are.
so, and the second question is, the Whispering Farm wall that they're gonna be working on. The last meeting we were here, the Whispering Farms Homeowners Association came forward, and I thought they were trying to get a proposed guardrail out of it. Is that included in this bid or not?
No,
No, it's not part of this, and if it's not the area that we're gonna be working in as a part of the area that they identified.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would try to do it when they did the restoration.
Yeah, question on the water. Once you get the water station hooked up down there where you're talking about, are we still working on plans of running water up Jordan Road?
yes.
Do we have any foresight over time?
We're trying to get this put in, and then we're gonna start working on that water line with a new mayor. We're hoping we can move forward with that. We've had conversations about that already, and we're trying to move forward on it. And the township wants to put in the water line, wants to pay for the water line, and move forward right after we get this finished. Like it's coming by next month. And hopefully we'll meet with Mr. Burkholz and his staff, administration, and Mr. Brett, and move forward with that.
Okay, I was kind of making sure that this didn't get pushed to the back.
By the wayside. At the very least, you're gonna get fire protection.
I would just like to know that if my house catches fire, it's as protected as everybody else's in this room. And right now it's not. They're gonna stand there and keep the woods from burning, and keep the park from catching fire, but they're gonna watch my house burn. We've seen it on the news. That's all they can do. So I'm just
No, I understand.
looking for the future, so it don't get
That's a
forgotten.
good question. Anything else? We don't have no presentations. No one's here to,
Usually gonna go with the water back where it was before.
yes,
How you gonna do that?
what?
How you gonna do that? They put that
They
there.
put a fuel tank there.
Yeah,
Well, you're gonna use it, you're gonna use it after the maintenance building is closed. And you're gonna have that whole parking lot right there, there's one and two, right up next to it, it's gonna have a curve where you can't go over the curve. And it'll reach over to that. So you have plenty of space to turn around and pull the trailer or back your pickup truck in there, whatever it is. And it'll reach, it's right there. So, yeah, they put in the propane tank and all that, there's a curve that goes all the way down that, keep you on this side. So you should be fine pulling in and out of there.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anything else, anybody else from the public would like to come up and address the board? Right now is the time, or any other questions for other trustees or the board? All right, we'll move along. We'll go to the fire department, Assistant Chief of Street.
Again, everybody. I'll just go over the run details for the month of January. In the month of January, we had 21 fire details, 13 in Miami Township, 3 in Addison, 4 in Cleves, 1 in North Bend. We did 15 mutual aid details, but canceled over out in 8 of them. EMS details for the month of January, we had 176. 116 in Miami Township, 23 in Addison, 24 in Cleves, 13 in North Bend. And we gave mutual aid 15 times to our neighbors. There, and for all your run details, after that, you can see all the different graphs that we have going through there if you need any questions. One after that is our code enforcement page. You can see there's a lot of zeros since it was the first month. They just getting started back with the new year and new work and doing everything that they're doing from there. Scott does, like the new lieutenant does a great job with the code enforcement. So when you find somebody who likes it, keep them in there. So, and then you go back to our staffing report, January had 16 or 62 total 12-hour shifts. And an optimal of 4 medics is our optimal to kind of run what we want to run. 23 of those times we had 4 medics. 28 of those times we had 5 medics, so we had a little more than we needed. And for this shifts, we had 6 medics. 7 shifts, we only had 3 medics. And that kind of has us to take one of our squads out of service for a little while when we're doing that. So, and for training, we actually signed everybody up to a site called csutest.com. And it's an accredited online source that we'll use for like for EMS, firefighter, fire safety inspector, instructor, hazmat, officer development, and OSHA mandated trainings, things like that. And it's not the only training we'll do. We'll still do hands-on training, still do things like that, but it kind of keeps us in-house, keeps us in our district with a safe wear and tear on trucks and fuel charges and everything. So we kind of have that set out, you know, through emails that everybody has to do those trainings, so we keep up on them. And the only thing on the calendar that we have is that we have a station tour, Station 69, I think with Cindy's group on there, so I hope they had a good time.
We love it.
Yeah.
They're coming tomorrow.
Yeah, come tomorrow up here, so. And that's all I have for the
Okay.
January.
Any questions for the chief?
Yeah, is there any needs that the department will need to buy in the next few months? Are you guys pretty much set? I know last couple of years you pretty bottom up.
So what are you offering? No, I mean, a lot of stuff we did, right now, we're in the first part of the year, so we still have a lot of tip stuff to buy and stuff. As far as it's hard to anticipate something. So you don't know what's going on. So as far as needs, I don't really know the needs right now. I'm sure we will. Yeah. But they're always good to us here. Yes, you know, is that what we need for our time?
All right, thank you, Chief.
I got a question.
Sir,
What's the update on the broken fire hydrants? Have those been addressed?
we have a guy working on it now. He's still working on it. He's doing a great job. He's getting everything up and going, and I'm hoping, I'm not sure when you guys want me to start putting them back into the, into the reports and do that kind of, well, we don't work on hydrants, all we do is report them. So after they go out of our hands, we report them to any jurisdiction that has them, so it's up to them to get them fixed. But we do know which ones are broke based on, we have them on a board, we'll have them, if it's dispatched, we have an app called 911 that will show us that the hydrant
Okay.
is broken. We also bought some new, or like better terms, like a ring that goes on the front and it'll reflect. So if we're driving up, we'll see that shine on us and we'll know that that one's broke at that point.
Okay.
So we try to do our best to make sure that we know where they are.
Sorry. You know, I'm always full push. You said when you go down to 3 medics, you take a squad out of service?
Yes. Because it's a, ALS unit. And so we will have, and so we have to have a chase medic, make the 2 medics per run, you have to have 2 medics on there. So if we only have 3 paramedics, it'll be 1 at 70, on medic 70, there'll be 1 at 69, medic 69, and then we'll have the chase medic like we used to do a long time ago. And then once we get to 4th one on, put that medic unit back in service.
I'm not trying to.
It's probably not without changing it through the county every time that you want to go and call them up and say, BLS this, BLS that. I'm not sure exactly how that would work with the can. Keep trying to change, like the call moniker of that. Something we can look into. Hopefully if we get new squads, we'd love to have another, you know, that here. Yeah, we do too. So we always put it out there for extra coverage, for incentive pay, to get somebody covered. That's why we only had 7. Because it would probably be a lot more if we didn't try to get people involved.
Do you run in the area that's not covered by paramedic as a first responder?
Not if we don't have staff car, we could hopefully take a staff car and doing that, but if all you have is an engine, then yeah, that, we would make sure somebody gets there to help out with the first, yeah, like, so whoever gets there, what this gets there. First, we always make sure somebody's first responding to help out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a party. All right, Superintendent, Mr. Herbert.
This last month, I was out of town, so it's like forever since I've been here. So January activities at the senior center. I start off every month with the same thing. We have our normal activities, trivia, bunko, movie days, air volleyball. Those are always set every month, our schedule. A little note, we are looking for euchre players. So anybody euchre, if you know anybody, we need players. A lot of our group go to Florida for the winter, so we're down a lot of players. So I'm throwing that out there. So we need euchre players.
So when do you?
We play euchre Mondays at 12:30.
Monday at 12, every Monday at 12?
Every Monday at 12:30 is
So
euchre.
then you show up and play, right?
Show up and play. Yeah. If you don't know somebody, if you don't know how to play, somebody will be there to teach you. So please, any euchre players. January 11th, it was the last part of our Reds program. We had Cincinnati Reds trivia, and they were supposed to come a couple months ago and they had to cancel. So this was a rescheduled event. So the Cincinnati Reds Museum and Hall of Fame, they come out and they did the trivia for us, and they had prizes and so that was a good time. So that's our last part of that 3-part series. The first part, we had the museum come bring artifacts. We had Todd Benzinger come give a talk, which was very nice. So this was the last part of that program. We do have tickets this coming season for 3 Reds games. The dates are May 23rd, July 11th, and September 5th. So that includes the ticket, obviously your seat, and then entrance to the Valley Sports Club, which is an all-you-can-eat area, drink, no alcohol, but, it's all included. So, and the seat is right outside, so you're under cover, out of the weather, you know, sitting in the sun, which I can't do anymore. So, it's a really good time. So we have tickets available if anybody is interested in those dates for those games. They're $100, but, you know, we drive you there, we drop you off right at the gate, you got your Valley Sports and then your seat. So, sounds expensive, but it's worth it. Really good time.
Good too.
So, yeah, and they actually sell pretty quickly. I mean, you don't get that many tickets, so they go pretty quick. Let's see, July 15th, we were closed for Martin Luther King, and we were closed on the 19th due to some weather. The senior center follows the Three River School District policies for closing and delays. If the school's closed, then the senior center's closed, they're on a delay, we're on a delay. So we are closed that day. I was in the Caribbean that day, so didn't matter to me much. So anyway, January 16th, we had a speaker from the Cincinnati Jam Center come. We did part 2 of their program, the Sad See Me Sinister Side of Cincinnati. It was part 2 for that program. January 18th, we're starting something new. We're doing Coffee with Friends. So it's a monthly event where you can come and have coffee, eat a couple donuts, socialize. So it's kind of a get together for the seniors to kind of socialize and get them out of the house and socialize with everybody. So that, and then next month, one of our members, Charlie Runs, he played the guitar actually this month, and he's going to do it again next month. So he's going to sing, play the guitar, so we have a little entertainment too, which is nice. So that's something new. Coffee with Friends. January 26th, we had our monthly birthday party. Every month we celebrate members who have a birthday during that month. So we always have lunch, we play bingo, horse racing. So it's a pretty big event, a busy day for us. So it's January 26th, January 30th. Our second van outing to Maverick Chocolate Company. So we took another group of seniors there. Tomorrow is our first time using the cast van. We're going to City Hall for a tour. So we'll be able to bring twice as many people on these van outings. Our own van only seats 15 people. So it's hard we have so many people sign up for these van outings. We take, you know, so many people, and then we have to do another trip to the same place so everybody gets a chance to go to these places. So I'm excited about tomorrow to see how that goes. We have like 16 people, I think, going, 15 or 16 people going tomorrow. So excited about that. Upcoming events, March 7th, we're partnering with the libraries. Very exciting. We're going to have Dave Hopkins come. He's a singer, songwriter. He's going to come and perform for us some of his original tunes, some well-known folk songs, I think. So that's March 7th, 2:00. So please come open to the public for everybody. So that should be a good time. So, and then this is a little ahead, but April 7th or April 2nd at 10:00, we're having a program on senior fraud. Matt Brew, am I saying his name correct? Yeah, Matt Brew. Chief Prosecuting Attorney with Hamilton County Elder Justice Unit, mouthful. He's going to come and give a program on that. So to teach the signs, things to look at for senior fraud. So I think that's very important. So I wanted to just get that out there early. April 2nd at 10:00. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right, any questions for Mrs. Herbert? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, maintenance department, Mr. Miller.
Hello, bud. Got okay with getting our mowers in within the next 2-3 weeks. So we need to put the other 3 mowers on the website, or we can do trade-ins, decide what we're gonna do on them. Bids for parking lot lights, we are receiving bids for parking lights right now. We haven't okayed anything. So we're looking to change some of the lighting in the parking lot because we've been having a lot of problems with our parking lots.
And I agree with Carrie, it is getting to be dangerous out there because the girls that was dancing downstairs the other night had no lights coming out the back. And it's dark up there when it's really. We thank Sissy and the fire department for trying to get them turned off, but for some reason, the switch is not working altogether. So I think we got a plan in action to change stuff out, but we're trying to receive some bids on. Didn't know if I was bringing up those Superior Turf bid. We did get a second bid from Kramer.
I got that. We're gonna talk, let's talk about that now. Did you look at the amount?
I did see the amount. The contract they wrote up is not very clear as the other one. Says fertilizer, but they have the applications. He's only doing one application. His price is already higher than Superior Turf's is.
Right, for multiple applications.
Yeah.
Right. So I have is $38,417 is Kramer Landscape. Let's go ahead and deal with it now, since we're talking about it. And Superior Turf Solutions, we've used, Mr. Allgaier since we started the fight. That's correct, Paul, isn't it? Since we first opened it. Ronnie's happy with it. He's head of our maintenance department. And I'm happy with it also. I don't know if anybody else would like to comment about it or not, if they're not happy with it or not, but I think our park is beautiful and it looks really good. And I think John does a great job for us. So this will just be a renewal is what it'll be. Like Ronnie just said, for the one application from Kramer is 3,000 more than what, Superior Turf Solutions bids for this year. This for 2024 is 35,365. So I will make that a motion, and if there's a second, then we can open it for discussion. We can discuss it. I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
Well, I appreciate you guys giving the second bid, so that's important. I think that, I know that we've gone with them and it sounds like we're happy with
I am.
what they.
It seems like everybody that comes down here always says great things about the park. So
But I do think it's, again, it's good to get, have some competition and get those extra bids, so, appreciate the due diligence on that.
I think he did add some stuff this year onto that. He's gonna go across the backside, just bring it over there.
Yeah, he did.
Pour out at the new firehouse. He's my, so
Correct.
I think it's also good to note that last year, Superior Turf, because they got us in mind, rather than just do what they agreed to, they came to Ron and said, with all the dry weather, we don't want to waste your money. So they didn't use up about a little over $5,000 of their contract last year. I think that says something about the integrity of the company. And he also sent me a qualifications letter on what his qualifications are, and his qualifications are good enough to run a golf course. Actually, I think he has run it. I think I did give him a copy of that. What he did.
And do you have any discussion? All right, I got a motion pending in a second.
And I can have those bids.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
Okay, all right, Mr. Allred,
Yes,
Mr. Blanton,
yes,
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Yeah, last year we only spent 28,000.
yeah. First, it was 34,000 in 2023. Mr. Miller, go ahead.
Still think the rake machine, the new one, three-wheeler, is gonna be in April. Thanks to Megan for this kindly paper here that she made for me. We need to look into her job too a little bit. She's doing a lot more than what she's supposed to be doing, at least for maintenance. Karen might not be doing it anymore because she's like for maintenance most of the time. So we need to look into that a little bit. Pickup trucks, I have no idea when they're coming yet. Pickup, I don't know, it should be soon. Dump trucks are probably not going to be till September, October.
Are these the new ones?
Yes,
Two?
2 new dump trucks up there,
What did we order?
550s.
I said, this, we ordered two new pickup trucks.
And we ordered, 2 fire department ordered one.
Oh, is it fire department?
They ordered, they already got through it, they have
The fire department, we went back and tried to see if we could get a better deal for the Ford because we were already buying the two new maintenance trucks. The price was not any better, it wasn't available. We also looked with other Ford dealers. They thought they had a unit that we could look at and they couldn't get the dealership that had the unit to trade it to them. So after checking with everything, we ended up back with the Chevrolet. We have that. So they actually found one they had to trade for it. They found that in the lighting package and installation of the radio and everything is on your agenda for later this evening.
All right, that's right.
And the other three-wheeler, JJ's here, it's in service, so we just go to the John Deere, they have it serviced. We were told it was making some noise when it starts and the brakes weren't working, so we did take it up, take it to John Deere.
Okay.
Something he's been looking
We're
for.
coming up on a busy, or timetable on it, return.
We'll see how bad it is first, so.
Okay. I have
Pretty good. Mr. Moreline on the guardrails. I was supposed to contact Hammond County to see how they go about putting a guardrail up, would they qualify for guardrail? I let you know, I'm not letting Mr. Brett. They'll come out and survey it. I don't think it's close enough to the road to make it a hazard because it's behind the rock wall and the pillars. I'm not sure. That's all right.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Miller? All right, thank you, Bill.
As usual, thanks to you guys for that little letter we had a week or so ago. Keeping the roads clear.
You're welcome. All right, so real quick on the mowers, so we've sold mowers before on the county website.
They did, and it ended up coming out about the same as what the trade-in value was, so we'll just see what the trade-in value is, they offer us, evaluate it, and if we don't think
We'll
this
see what it is
Yeah.
first before we commit.
exactly, if something looks like a fair price for us, then we'll put it on county website
Okay.
for auction.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, thank you, Mr. Hughes. Good evening. You should have a copy of my report for January and February. I do want to say one thing about the new lieutenants. I had the privilege of hiring both of those guys when I was fire chief and watch them move up the chain and know their qualifications. We've got two really good lieutenants that'll work well in the township. That's always a goal of the fire chief, is to make sure people move up. Thanks for that promotion today. No accidents, no BWC claims, and no auto accidents for the month. We're starting out great. I want to thank the employees of the township for their continued work towards safety. We do have one injury from last year that's required surgery. And that surgery will take place. It's a shoulder injury next week. And we've already worked and met with the injured employee, and we do have light duty that he's agreed to. So it won't hit our BWC lost time thing. Put us into a higher class. So we have a lot of work from him that he's going to be able to do, and as he heals, we're way up to see that. And we met Rob and Jimmy met, and so we got everything lined out. Job description, what he's going to be able to do. Our goal is to get him back to work as quick as we can, but we need him, and he's a good employee. I attended the Hamilton safety meeting, and the big topic right now is indoor welding. There's a lot of that going on now since COVID, and there's a lot of good information exchanged during the meeting. We completed the Otara audit, and I've got to finalize the report with Jim. A lot of things we're doing already and already in place, so there's not a lot of things that we have to do to comply with risk management people. Working with Ron and Rob on safety grants from Otarma. You know, if you remember last year, we got 2 AEDs through that grant. So we're working now on some more additional safety PPE for the guys. So we're working on that now to get that formalized. Maybe save some money along those lines. Township committee, safety committee met. We had a really good meeting. It lasted almost 2.5 hours and a lot of good information exchanged. You should have copies of the minutes. There was a lot that we discussed, setting up training for the maintenance department, et cetera, for this year. And it was a good meeting. We've been invited, committee's been invited to go to Miami Fort and meet with their safety people next month and see how they conduct their meetings and see if we can learn or they can learn from what we do. We're going to be going down there to Miami Fort as soon as they contact me. March 28th, Karen, Rob, and Ronnie's thinking about it, depends on the schedule, but we're going to Columbus for the Safety Congress. We're taking some educational training there. Also, we're going to be looking at some wellness programs that we can bring back and share with the group. And some of them might be able to do to make our employees even safer. Last thing I have is I attended the CAS meeting at the administration building, and these are really good meetings. And one of the things that you know, all the industry in the township are there and they're represented, and they talk about things that are going on in their businesses. Very informative. My report plan is keeping us updated. We're still striving to hit the goal of 27, I believe. It's still everything looks good that they're going to be able to stay in business till then. Gosh, they haven't had any major incidents. But one of the things that came out of the meeting is we have a lot of industry, but we've lost a lot of residents that are represented in that group. So if anybody would like to come to our meeting, we'd be more than glad to have you. Just get a hold of me or Jim, and we can take your name. And you know, we love to have more people there to try to get a little bit more from the resident side and not so much the business. Because it's really good. It's really good meeting. It's been going on for many years. And so that's pretty much what I have on my report. Yes, sir.
Do we have a next meeting at 8 or even that, or?
It'll be the second quarter. Next one. Yeah, the council meeting will be not this one, next one. Yeah. Any questions for Mr. Hughes? All right, thank you, John. You're welcome. Thank you. What do you want to carry? All right, Mr. Rivers, come on up. I thought you were next.
Good evening. So January is typically a slow month at the community center, but we did have 17 events total. 16 of those were in the community center in the lower level. One of them was in town hall. Use of space other than the rentals. We did have a staff luncheon, which was very nice, organized by Mr. Brett. Thank you. Dance uses it every Wednesday. Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Kiwanis. We did have Cindy's kids from Three Rivers come and eat lunch. They used it as a space to eat lunch for a field trip, and they're actually back tomorrow. So we always welcome them. It's always a breath of fresh air around here. Wreaths Across America and Three Rivers Women's Club also used our spaces. So far for 2024, we have 22 rentals on the books. Maintenance completed and needed maintenance on January 3rd and 4th. New audio visual was installed, so our projector is up and running. We have a radio in the room. It's fantastic, and we've already had many clients using that. The ceilings were cleaned January 10th. They look fantastic, and as Mr. Brett said, you didn't realize how bad they were until you walk in there now and see how good they look now. All of the vents were cleaned, the beams, it looks fantastic. The painting was completed January 15th and 16th. He did the upper level of the community center, also touched up all of the hallways for us. And again, that also looks fantastic. You don't realize how much it needed it, but with 20,000 people coming in and out of the building a year, you can imagine what our walls look like at the end of a year. Carpets were cleaned on January 23rd. So from January 3rd to January 23rd, the building was literally cleaned top to bottom and it looks fantastic. Last year, we installed a sign outside that had my cell phone number on it, that if there were issues getting in the door, like sometimes if we have power outages or something like that, guests have a hard time getting in, our lock system just malfunctions. And so rather than them going to knock on the fire department door, our staff that's here running over and bothering the fire department, letting them in, we decided to install that sign with my number on it. And now we've installed a lockbox. So should guests or staff have any issues getting in, they'll call me, I will give them the lockbox code, they'll have a key to the door, and then I will immediately change the lockbox code. So it'll always be different if someone uses it. So we haven't had to use it yet. I probably will this weekend. So that's been good. Like Ronnie said, the parking lot lights have been a huge issue. Thank you to Ronnie for being so proactive and realizing what a problem it is. We've had several complaints about it just last Wednesday. Ronnie had to run up and figure out a way to get them on because the little kids coming in and out for dance, it was pitch black. So that is a work in progress, so bear with us on that. I held an open house on January 16th. 14 guests attended that open house. Since I started those open houses, I've had no less than 12 people and as many as 26 people attend an open house. So they are really a good thing for me to do. Upcoming community events. Goat Yoga, everyone's favorite, is February 27th. 2 sessions, 5:30 and 6:45. There are 41 people registered right now, so we still do have space available, which is unusual. Typically, it's booked by now. Easter extravaganza is March 23rd from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I hand delivered all of the sponsor sheets, talked to a lot of the different businesses that typically donate, and it sounds like all of them are still going to donate. We'll be doing the typical things, egg hunt, games, pictures with the Easter Bunny. That will be a very fun event. The next community center open house will be March 19th from 5 to 7. Then I'm going out a little bit, but the shred day for the township is going to be April 27th. And Lieutenant McRoy did tell me that drug take back day will also be that same day. So you'll be able to pull through the fire bay for drug take back or pull into the community center parking lot for shred day. And on a side note about shred day, in years past, we have paid $375 an hour, and they're usually here for 3 hours. We had never signed up as a township or gotten a rep. So because I did that this year, it is now $300 an hour. So we're saving $75 an hour on shred day from even what we were paying 2 years ago. So that's really good. And I think that's it, other than the safety meeting. I wouldn't mind attending the thing in Columbus either. I think it makes, as a department head of somewhere that has 20,000 people coming through the doors each day, I think it would make a lot of sense if I started coming to things like that, so.
All right, any questions for Mrs. Rovers? All right, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks for all your efforts on all these events. I love the new feature with the music playing, and the rental space over there. So the AV upgrades and some of those features. And obviously we talked about it at length, but if we can continue to make the parking lot lights that, yeah, the last thing we want is some issue back there on a lit spot. So whatever we need to do, all hands on deck. That'd be great. So thanks to anybody who contributed to that.
JJ, I'm thinking through you.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you. Clark, Mr. Clark.
All right, good evening, everyone. So the court, we're, getting ready
the season. The only thing that's happened so far is the scheduling process, through various organizations that we have down there. It started, the start of the season is normally about late March. I did talk with Taylor baseball coach, and so I'm in constant contact with him about anything that he needs. Like Ronnie told me about the week three-wheeler. So a couple of things that you might not be aware of, and I don't know if I've told you before, said something, but, we really need, the softball field up here needs to be reduced. The infield is way too big. They really need to, sod about 10 feet of it.
This is first I've heard
I
about it.
know.
So,
It's something we need to talk about. I just want to bring it on, put on your agenda.
all right, measure it out and look at it, and then are you requesting it, or is the girls softball association?
I'm going to be required to drag that needs to be done.
Needs to be small.
Because it's
It's not gonna take away anybody
No,
from playing on it.
100%.
Because mostly it's the little softball players and little hardball players.
Since that field has been open, I've been told that it has to be 10 and under. Does that sound right to you? 10 and under, and like, so nobody over 10 playing on that field unless it was girls softball.
It does
take away practice fields, kids, if you do make that dirt field smaller in the, right? So kids want, not all kids want to come up there and use infield, they're not gonna be able to use it because they're short.
That is true.
Okay.
But we have to take it into account because we want to make it, we're gonna have the three, is it gonna be a problem dragging them with the?
It is not, but like I said, I'm not really sure how that infield. I'm not sure how it got that big.
Let's do this.
It's humongous.
Let's do this. Let's measure it out.
Okay.
Find out who we're cutting out of this. If it's the age group above what we want to deal with, then it's not, it wouldn't be a problem, but if it's not.
I thought it was put in officially for a real softball. High school. The 200-foot fences.
It's not the fences. It's not.
I know, but
It's just the infield, yes. And like at some point, like I said, the infield, I'm not sure what happened, but it is.
You're never gonna be able to use an official field because of the outfield, the right field line, right?
Yes, which I keep telling softball, but they keep giving me pushback on that, but yes. So, but yeah, anyway, I just wanted to bring that up when you're ready, we can talk about that. The other thing, and whoever mentioned the AED, got me thinking about this. So, are we have the AED down there yet?
Yes.
They're down there, okay, perfect. Question, are they monitored at all, like by, okay, perfect. That's all I'm gonna do. I thought they were down there monitored. Yes, yeah. The only reason I said it because, at the school I'm currently at, they've installed some, doesn't really matter, installed some software, like some what they call them deterrents if there was a school shooting or something, some non-lethal deterrents. And, they have these boxes all over school and you have to put your fingerprint on there to open it. And once you put your fingerprint on there. AED? Well, it's actually on the box itself. And so everybody in the school had to get the fingerprint. So when the fingerprint goes on there, basically, it sends out an alert to the fire department immediately. So that's 911's called immediately and it opens up and then you can grab the ED and so you would know who has it, who actually uses it, and like who opened it and everything. So I'm not saying that's something we want to go to, but you mentioned that for something that. So.
Ours is down there for the public.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a school environment.
Yes.
It's there for the people to use the community.
Yep.
Down.
I'm perfectly fine with that. That's why I just wanted to mention that was the case. So, all right. Other than that, I really don't have anything.
All right, any questions for Mr. Clark? Go ahead, Kara.
I forgot, I also do park rentals for the shelter and we already have 2 for April. So just want to make sure we stay up on garbage, like make
Yes.
sure we get garbage.
And then Taylor starts her first game, March 23rd, right?
I believe that date is,
March
yes,
23rd, so it's coming up quick.
it'll be here very quickly. The weather holds out. Obviously, talk about the water later, but that's always
All right.
One that's gonna be on there.
Scheduled to be turned on the 22nd of March. Water that we talked about today for Nyer,
Okay,
turning the bathroom, getting the bathrooms back open.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
we're gonna shoot, we were talking,
March 22nd.
are we gonna do March 22nd? Yeah, that works great. It works out great.
That's just for the bathrooms and the drinking fountains. Irrigation for the field gets turned on when school turns over.
Yeah,
All right, thank you. We're going to the board, Jim, is that what you have here, committee reports?
I just thought if anybody had anything from their committee, you want to add.
Yeah, because I got, Mr. Robeson, we'll start with you.
Well, I was at a commission meeting, as was my whole family, and, we went through that. I know there's a lot of stuff going around, so, I just want to reiterate what Mr. Brett said about the investors meeting. Again, that's March the 6th at 6 p.m. We have our meeting at 3:15 here that afternoon, which is our regular first Wednesday of the month meeting. And, the whole idea, concept behind this is that, again, that we're being more transparent, more informative, communicating better with our residents. I think it's fantastic that all of you are here for this meeting and that you're staying informed of every aspect of the operation. But that is, the idea is that in about 45 to 60 minutes, you can get a quick overview of what's going on. So you're going to get an update on the fire chief hiring. You're going to get an update on the roundabout. You're going to get an update on, some of the events coming up and just some basic things that you may not come and sit through an entire meeting here, but you want to be informed. So particularly, again, we reach out to our HOA presidents and leaderships and meetings, and residents, but the idea is that you can come and it's not going to be a 2-hour, 3-hour. It's going to be, and we're going to stay on schedule, but that you can get a pretty good overview of what's going on in the township. And if you have stuff that you're going to want to follow up with afterwards, then you have that opportunity. But so I would just encourage everyone to spread the word. We'll get the word out on social media and the newsletter, all that other stuff. But please attend, and we'll get an agenda approved by the board to make sure that everybody's okay with it.
Sounds good. Mr. Moore, you're just working diligently on hiring this fire chief, so that's priority 1 for me. Saturday's gonna be a big day. We should narrow it down here and be able to wrap this stuff up here pretty soon. Did you bring up fire stuff, business to go? And do business.
I can,
No, I have a few things first. So I didn't know if you were bringing it up or you were doing it. That's fine. I'm sorry. Were you finished? Okay. Go ahead. So I'll go ahead and bring up the resolution. We'll go ahead. I'll bring this up for a motion. It's resolution 2024-03. It's just a resolution authorizing the township administrator to put out the proposal for Whispering Farms Road shaft one. Second. All right, any discussion?
Okay, Mr. Walber,
Yes.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
All right, the second thing I have is I want to bring this up. I'm going to make this a motion also. If it gets second, then we can discuss it. It's a motion for new batting cages nets. It's out of Memphis Net and Twine Company out of Memphis, Tennessee. I reached out, our baseball coach reached out to them. I reached out to the company in Harrison, DW Creation, I believe that's the name of it.
Yeah.
They got back with me today. I contacted them February 12th. They got back with me today, or I had to call them again today, request the proposal again. And they were gonna get back with me at the end of the day. By the end of the day, they did email me. They said, it would have to be in the next couple of days because it's an odd long, different shape. It's 90 feet long instead of typical 40, 50, or 60. So I did try to get two quotes on this. So I'd like to move forward so we can get this ordered. This company can, our baseball coach, Jared Sizer, has dealt with this company before, so has other baseball coaches in the area. And it's the Memphis Nets and Twine Company. I'll make a motion, it's $1,804. And I'll make a motion so we can go ahead and purchase that.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion?
Yes.
Could do.
Go ahead.
When we talk about this, is it one long net? Or is it two?
He knows it's divided in the middle.
He knows it's divided in the middle?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's Jared's involved in it.
okay, perfect.
He knows it's divided.
I just wanted to make sure that,
Yeah, he knows that. I asked him that. And we got to quote, we'll talk about that. So, all right, any more discussion?
Well, yes, so, I mean, I know that baseball season is quickly approaching, you said March 3rd, but is this is something that we can't wait and try to get another vote?
I tried to. They had, from the day I called them until today, 9 days. So I think that's sufficient request. I got it right in the email to you this year. Yeah. So I like to move forward because it's gonna be a ship. So it can get up here, we get it installed the next week and they can utilize it. They can utilize it now, but then if something goes flying out of there, then, you know, back on us.
Can I have another comment? It looks like he wants to.
Just so you know, I also talked with people at DWT and Harrison, say you'd already talked with them. And, I also spoke with another vendor who was at the OTA. I had to go back and take another picture for them. Today I measured it and, they promised and they never got back to us and got back to the OTA. We have done our due diligence in trying.
No, that's why I asked. Yeah. And then second, do we have any discussion with Three Rivers Athletic Association? So in my conversation with school board, Dr. Alt, a couple of school board members last night, a couple of other school district administrators, we talked about partnering. And obviously, there's big ticket items that we have on our plate we need to discuss and consider. But we even talked about smaller items such as this and acknowledging that there's a benefit to the township to some degree, but that the vast majority of the use is from, you know, whatever team, whatever the situation is, whether it's soccer, baseball, football, you know, whatever it is. And so we talked about having more discussions to where maybe it's a 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, you know, whatever it is, but that we engage with them on these things and that there's an acknowledgement that they're the primary users of a lot of these items. So I guess if we've done that, and if not, can we do it? And I think it would be, they seem very amenable and open to those kind of discussions and said that it would be no problem to, you know, continue to look at these things going forward. I don't know if Mr. Brett has any other takeaway, maybe you don't, but that's in general kind of what we discussed, correct?
That was kind of the general gist, and as we move forward, they're willing to look at these things. I don't think that this is.
There was any specific.
But for everything else, yeah, they're willing to work with us on that because they realize that, yeah, especially the areas where they're getting the bulk of the benefit, they're willing to work with us on those costs. So as we move forward, I think we'll do that.
You know, and we can, I'm not opposed to that at all, but the baseball team, when we signed their agreement with, well, Three Rivers, that it was from, if I remember correct, from April till the end of May, is that right? Or not, March, beginning of March or middle of March for the end of May, is that right, Jack? Yeah, so we're only, and they're not the only ones that use the cage. Our residents use it, Three Rivers Athletic Association uses it. And the other teams that come into our facility use it. So But I'm not opposed to that at all. If they want to take your money, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So that's great. And I've talked to Andy Messer before, and Andy's been great to work with since I've been on the board, since I took over the department from Paul. And they've divvied up money for small things, dirt and other stuff. Did they not go under with that dirt with us last year? I thought they've contributed.
They actually been working.
No, I did not reach out to them for this because I want to go ahead and get it ordered, get it shipped, and get it installed. So, but we have been doing it, so we can continue to do it with Mr. Brad, continue to reach out and request. Did you have anything? All right, I'll make that a motion. Do we have a second? Second.
Okay, what company was it?
Finance, yep. We got a vote.
Mr. Holbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Bland?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
I do have one other question, just real quick, because I can't remember, Bonnie, did you put the bar across the top of the middle yet? Has that been done already? I thought so. I just wanted to double check that. Yeah, we did. That's why I just, in my mind, it's only.
No, it's all good.
Do you think it'd be good to have a park committee and a budget? That way everybody knows what's going on. Do you think that would be something that we should do?
I don't know. We work on it. We have an administrator now. And, I mean, I don't know. We could look into it. I don't know. We just
Even with the administrator,
another.
to get more people in there and know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm a
Sharing of the
manager.
opportunity.
JJ is our park manager.
Right, but still, if you have the committee, that's where you can figure out how you're gonna use your funds, like Mike said.
Everything what?
The funds in that, that way you have a budget. You know what you're spending every year, everybody knows what's going on, and they appreciate it.
Well, that's true too, but the park looks, I think the park looks great. I think we do a good job in the park. I think our maintenance crew does a great job. I think JJ does a great job.
Well, we're gonna have the power plant here soon. Well, I mean, that's $550,000. We gotta start looking on ways.
We've already did that, I think 2 or 3 years ago. But
Right.
We've already addressed the majority of them. So that's something we have been looking at. But we can look at it.
I just think people would appreciate it.
So to your point, if I may, again, I think that Mr. Brett has been a tremendous asset coming here on a number of items. And one of the biggest things is that he's organized a lot of these things that I think in the past, we were kind of taking things as it came up and not looking at the big picture. So I've had discussions with them. And the idea is that we're going to put costs and put numbers and look at, because there's, we only have, we don't have what am I trying to say? Blank, yeah, we don't have a blank check to just write any and do anything we want. There's only so much money coming in. We got to be good stewards of our taxpayers' dollars. So, I think that, hopefully this board with Mr. Brett's help can wrap our heads around the many projects that are out there, because there's a lot of a lot of things being discussed, a lot of ideas. Everybody has their different vision and what direction they like to go. And I look forward to hopefully this board communicating better and talking about these issues and talking about these, these ideas so that we can be informed and understand that what you do over here and here affects what, happens over here and here. And that, we might be able to invest in this, but that means you can't invest over here. So anyway, I look forward to making that a priority. And I know it's been a priority for Jim Brett. And again, I appreciate him coming on and all he's done to help us move in that direction.
All right, let's move along. Old business.
I had reached out to Mr. Hughes, who had given us the initial proposal for hydrant painting. And we got a little miscommunication by email, apparently went to a spam He didn't get that until today. So I told him my initial email asking for clarification if he didn't have time to get it, then we would just move it to March sixth. So I'd like to move the hydro meeting to March sixth. That way gives him a fair chance to explain his proposal. And then you can evaluate it then.
And I want to speak on something real quick with that. I sent you an email with an apology for when me and you got into a little scuffle here, but 2 meetings ago. I said I had sent you an email and that I fat fingered it and sent it to the wrong email address, so that's why you didn't get it. It was brought to my attention. So for me to act that way to you, I wanted to say I'm sorry in front of everybody because that's just the kind of person I'll be. If I do something wrong, I'd like to make it right. So I want to apologize to you for that, for just the way I talked to you and stuff, accused you of something that wasn't true when it was brought to my attention. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And so I think everybody has probably typed an email incorrectly at some point. So I certainly understand. I have to tell you that night I was sitting here going, I don't understand. That would be why, because I never got it.
And I told her, so that's why I wanted to give you, it through the email that I sent you, but I told you I could be here tonight to make sure that everybody knew that I was in the wrong, wasn't you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I wonder, so are we, just to clarify, are we putting it out for bid and we're considering it on the sixth, or are we having a discussion of how to proceed with the situation on the sixth?
Do you want to comment?
What,
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to get, but just, I'm just trying to understand so that this board is on the same page of whether we're considering a proposal or whether we're putting it out as was previously discussed. And then, I guess, entertaining all proposals that day.
my understanding is the discussion will be Mr. Reiniger asked for a proposal without the knowledge of the other board members. So the discussion will be where does his proposal, Mr. Hughes' proposal end up in comparison to everyone else? And is the board obligated to respect Mr. Reininger's request for a proposal without everyone knowing? And I think we get clarification from Mr. Hughes, look at everything, then do what you guys feel is correct.
Oh, so it's more of just to figure out how to proceed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it works out that this proposal is that proposal out there and you want to honor or you want to honor Jack's request him, then you can make that decision at that time.
Sounds good. New business?
New business, through the new services the fire department is using for taking applications for full and part-time firefighters. We have a proposal from the fire department to approve part-time firefighter Benjamin, and I'm gonna probably butcher his name, Boston. He's taken the test, scored well, interviewed well, and the fire department would like you to approve him as a part-time firefighter. So you have the information on him in your packet.
I'll make a motion to move forward with that.
Second, yes, well, is there anything you want to say?
It's good interview with the guys. Said the other one came from 12 qualified, works in ERs and nurses. Served our country and been a paramedic for a long time. Well worth giving a shot.
Good.
Actually, glad they did that.
Any more discussion?
No, I'll
Any
second.
more discussion? Mr. Colbert? Send it.
Okay, Mr. Ballroom,
Yes.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Next on our list is also for the fire department, approval of the locations system for the fire station 68 and 70. It's already installed at our other station. This is a system that when they have a run, when the tones drop, the tones, I'm dating myself.
It's home location now, and it kind of set up the tail with the top side.
So what it does is it alerts the fireman on duty. At night, it will turn the lights on. So it's good for their safety, good for their mental health, but being woke up in the middle of the night because you're not getting, that flaring. There's always, you get to the system's trying to improve in the fire service. My recommendation would be that you approve that.
You happy with it, the other station?
Yes, it works great. It's just a long time to get everything together. That's why it's kind of early now, might be 8, 9 months till they get all the product together to get rid of it. But yeah, it works great. That's the new station. That's the amount here go off everywhere. It's not jamming with all this information. You get to hear your needs at all. Scared.
Do we have a motion?
You slide down the pole.
I would get hurt, so no.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Next, for mobile.
Do we have any more discussion?
Who was that?
Roll.
Mobile, right?
All right,
And you seconded.
so we,
I did.
Okay.
Mike did.
All right, Mr. Volrick?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, next on our list is also for the fire department. Someone asked earlier if the fire department was need anything.
Very needy. Well, he was offering.
This is something that also I think it's a holdover from last year.
Yeah.
These are replacement of the air evacuation bags on the trucks. These are the Lucky's brand.
Yeah, great, yeah, for the tools.
Yeah, they're trying their best to get everything to take the same batteries. So lighting, the lighting and this will all use the same batteries. So the cost of this is $19,040 to replace some old outdated equipment and update it. Also make it safer to use because you won't have to run a generator or, we actually checked the expansion to run a generator for it.
I'm trying to think, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think what lighting, because I was only thinking power light, I was thinking portable light.
Yeah.
What I was thinking.
Yeah.
And who's this for? I didn't see that. What company? I didn't see
I got a
that.
lot of it.
All right, let's see, we have a motion.
Through how we're.
Oh, did it? I'm sorry.
We have a motion. I'll make a motion. Seconds. Any discussion?
Mr. Gloria?
Yes.
Mr. Blanford?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
So my final item under new business, the emergency lighting and radio installation for the new pickup truck. Hard to believe it's that hard to buy a truck, but they did their due diligence.
They had one at the OTAs with, tonight I saw this F-250 4-door crew, brand spanking new for sale.
A little over what we wanted to spend.
No, it was like 61,000.
Yeah, we ended up at
54,
We were,
54 some odd.
yeah.
So,
After we added everything on it, that we needed to get up to what we had tried to order, but they stopped taking orders here soon. You can't order.
isn't it a smaller truck, like a 1,500?
It's 1,500, yeah, which is probably equivalent to like a Ford 150.
Yeah, it's much smaller, or it's $1,000. It's like killer. That was cool. Damn boats would do this.
this will pull most of the smaller
That's
companies. Yeah. And it's gonna be better on fuel. So that was the reasoning for going lighter. fuel.
Okay, so we have a motion. Motion to move forward.
I will second.
All right, any more discussion? Cindy?
Mr. Gloria?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Can I just say that it's nice to have the administrator do this, but I kind of miss you being out there, swerving a little bit, asking for the mic.
I never sent an email.
Hey, that happens.
Right.
My goal is within the next month or so, we'll have a chief who will stand up there and do that for us. I'm looking forward to that. That'll all be under the chief's report for you.
All right, any more discussion, from the public?
I just have one thing. We're gonna meet with the finance, we sent out, we're gonna start meeting with the finance committee, hopefully next week. The email went out today, just to start talking about. So,
Do you want to update everyone on the levy?
all the garbage levy.
Go ahead.
I can, so, the newsletter will be out with information that will go to every household who's registered as a voter, that is a registered voter at. The, I don't have that with me.
It's $96.
$96 per 100,000. So where that breaks out at is, if your home is valued at $336,750, your cost through the township is about the same as if you were out on your own. The cost in neighboring communities, while they couldn't give us an exact cost for Miami Township, in Whitewater Township, our bill is about $38 a month. I'm looking for a nod back there if I'm right on that. So, but it just lets you know who paid the bill. So it's really an excellent deal on price. It also will keep people from going back to having a burning barrel in their backyard and then causing the fire department to have to come out and put it out. Because there are a lot more open burning rules than there used to be. I can tell you that we see in areas that don't have this contract, you'll see more and more trash dumped alongside the road than what we have here. And I hear that if we don't have that, some of the folks who don't care as much about our community will be dumping mattresses and trash and things along our road, which will mean Mr. Miller will be sending his crew out to pick that up. And God knows what's in those bags. Because sometimes in other areas, I know we find needles and drug paraphernalia and things like that. So certainly for the overall good of the community, rather than support that levy, it'll help keep Miami Township clean, which I believe with the committee that's going to work on that for us, is calling the committee, keep Miami Township clean. So.
Okay. Sounds great. All right. Anything else? Last chance for the public? All right, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Mr. Hallray?
Yeah.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Do you have the original?
Yeah. Okay. I've got to go make a quick.